Ghislaine Maxwell, who is appealing her sex trafficking charges and also reportedly seeking a pardon, and has been quietly moved to a very cushy minimum security facility in Texas, by the way, has now apparently cleared President Trump's name in her recent DOJ interview. Many are concerned that her motives are questionable for this clearing, given that the person who has the power to pardon her is President Trump. Many are also voicing that a convicted sex trafficker, particularly when it relates to minors and involvement in a worldwide blackmail operation, apparently to no one, cannot be trusted, no matter what she says. Nonetheless, we are now hearing that Ghislaine Maxwell reportedly cleared Trump's name in her DOJ interview. This in from Headline USA. It says, convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell reportedly told the Justice Department in a recent interview that she never observed President Donald Trump doing anything around her that, quote, caused concern. Maxwell was recently interviewed by the DOJ about roughly 100 people who were associated with her and her accomplice, deceased pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. She has an appeal pending before the Supreme Court, and rumors are swirling that President Donald Trump may pardon her in exchange for information about his political enemies. A potential pardon would give Maxwell every incentive to clear Trump's name, which is what she did, according to a Wednesday report from ABC News. Maxwell said nothing during the interview that would be harmful to President Donald Trump, ABC reported, citing anonymous sources. Well, there is also an audio recording of the interview, the sources said, but it's not clear whether the admin plans to release the audio to accompany any public release of the transcript, the outlet added. The public release of the transcripts could come as soon as this week. So the admin is in fact considering releasing this transcript, according to NBC News. The transcript in which Ghislaine Maxwell, a child sex abuser, says she didn't see any behavior from President Trump that was of concern. What exactly does a child sex abuser use as a metric for concerning behavior, by the way? Because it doesn't get much more concerning than abusing children, but her moral compass allowed for that. Now, reportedly, top Trump officials will discuss an Epstein strategy at a Wednesday dinner hosted by JD Vance. The administration's handling of the Epstein case, as well as the need to craft a, quote, unified response, is expected to be a main focus of the dinner, three sources familiar with the meeting told CNN. There's nothing that really opens up your appetite to dinner like talking about a unified response to a worldwide child sex trafficking ring, you see. You can just picture the proceedings now. So guys, with this child sex abuse scenario that's absolutely destroyed our reputations worldwide, this is what we're gonna do, okay? Everyone in agreement? Raise your hands. Yep, great, let's eat. In the meantime, the New York Times just dropped a bombshell Epstein mansion photos and documents article. So we're going to take you through some of this. New photos from inside Jeffrey Epstein's 7-story Manhattan lair reveal exactly how he entertained the world's most powerful people while hiding cameras in his bedroom. The entrance, lined with dozens of prosthetic eyeballs, a sculpture of a bride clutching a rope dangled in the main atrium, and apparently it gets much, much worse from here. Now, they also published the photo wall of power. Epstein's dining room credenza was a shrine to his connections, it says. Framed photos showed him with Pope John Paul II, Mick Jagger, Fidel Castro, Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Richard Branson, Steve Bannon, Bill Gates, Trump and Melania, Ghislaine Maxwell cropped out, Saudi prince, plus a dollar bill signed by Bill Gates saying, "I was wrong." And we're just going to show you some of these photos in full here, so that everyone can see on screen what has been included by the New York Times. I have a lot of questions about this, by the way, and we will discuss them after we finish going through this thread. It goes on, his office had a first edition Lolita on display. In Epstein's wood-paneled office with a taxidermied tiger on the floor, he showcased a green first edition of Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita. You know, the novel about an adult who repeatedly rapes a 12-year-old girl. Just sitting there on display while he hosted dinners with world leaders. You can see that image there. It goes on, surveillance cameras mounted above his bed. Photos show cameras clearly visible in corners of Epstein's bedroom and adjoining rooms. His massage room was stocked with lubricant and paintings of naked women. This is where he directed teenage girls recruited from Queens middle schools to massage him, according to court records. Stephen Bannon filmed hours of interviews here in 2019. Epstein kept framed Bannon's selfies in multiple rooms, it says. Apparently we have more on the 2016 birthday letters as well. Woody Allen reportedly wrote, "The dinners reminded him of Dracula's castle, where Lugosi has 3 young female vampires who service the place." Former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak called Epstein a collector of people. Mortimer Zuckerman suggested meal ingredients that would enhance Jeffrey's sexual performance. And also sending tributes, Noam Chomsky, MIT's Joichi Ito, physicist Lawrence Krauss. Now here's where my questions about this arise. Who is this source that has given this to the New York Times, and why are they only releasing this now? The Epstein problem has existed in this world for many years, yet only now do we apparently have this drip commitment from the MSM to transparency and uncovering the truth about Epstein. We hear the argument often that if they had anything on Trump, the Democrats would have released the files well before now. Well, that may be the case, but having said that, if they did that, it would also expose many of them also. Epstein doesn't discriminate. There are sick people on all sides of the political aisle, believe you me. However, it is interesting that all of this information is suddenly being released about Trump specifically. Is he right in a way when he says the files are a hoax, in the sense that something in the background has been coordinated with the MSM and friends in the political world to spin this to be largely about Trump and not focus on everyone involved and the true core of the Epstein blackmail ring, which no one seems to be able to get to the bottom of in the MSM or in politics? This may be the case, but it doesn't excuse the administration's complete failure to deal with this saga accordingly. Many of Trump's people over the years have demanded full transparency around the Epstein files, and we haven't forgotten that. If there is in fact some sort of hoax behavior here, and if they want to gain the trust back, the only solution is to release all of the information, as well as information they've gathered to suggest a coordinated hoax or conspiracy in the background now, if that is the case, and show the public what the original information is, in full, as well as what's been apparently coordinated in the background since. We'll finish by saying that a testimony from a convicted child sex trafficker is not going to appease the public. Mark my words.